Everyone, it's Kirei here with a layout using a couple of new sets from the shop. I'm using the Scenic Route set. It's got the two titles in it, and I'm also using the Travel Element set with all the little bits and pieces, which are great for tucking into your embellishment clusters. So I have a load of photos for this layout. I have 12. I've printed them out small. I've done that on my Canon selfie and printed them out 4 up with borders. Now, this was a little overnight trip down to Whitstable to visit my friend Denise that I know from my days working at the Disney Store head office. And she's got a little holiday place down there, and I went down to stay with her overnight, and it was lovely. So, and I have scrapped some photos from this little trip, but there were certainly some I hadn't. And this way, I just decided that the Scenic Route title that I wanted to use would be perfect for all the photos I had, because we did a lovely walk around the town and along the front. And yeah, so I sort of thought that tied in really nicely. So I thought it was a chance for me to get them all scrapped onto one layout. So I've mounted, I'm using the 49 and Mkt Wherever collection. It's a travel collection. And I've mounted all the photos on two of the pattern papers in the sort of rusty orange and the mustard colour. Now, this is actually how I started with the layout. I thought I was going to use these little light green pocket envelopes that are part of the 49 and Market collection, and I was going to have my sort of photo strips tucked into those. So I'm cutting vertical, like pieces of strips of pattern paper that I thought I'd have this sort of vertical design going behind them. I'm just playing around here deciding what I was going to use. However, I obviously don't do that because I changed my mind, mainly because I felt that the popping the photos, the strips into the little envelopes, they were sort of covering up some of the photos, and I would have had to secure them because they're obviously quite small envelopes. So I just thought, no, I need to change up what I'm doing. So that's where I started, but this is where I've ended. So I've switched the design, and I'm gone with the paper strips across the top of the layout. So I've layered up just 3 of them, and then I'm adding my photo strips in 4 rows next to each other, just at different levels, just to create some interest. So yeah, and then I've got foam pads on the top, and then I'm keeping them flat at the bottom. Just allows me to get some of that dimension into my layout that I love. So yeah, so then when I got all of that on, there's not loads of room left, but I can definitely get an embellishment cluster right across that sort of top. I'll make that a bit of a feature. Then I've got that circular world map, and I thought that the Scenic Route title would sit really nicely on top of that. So that's in that sort of greeny olivey colour, which was perfect. I'm adding little tabs to the tops of each of the photo strips, and then I've pulled out some of the ephemera pieces from the 49 Market collection that I'm just adding up at the top to create my embellishment cluster. So yeah, so that's sort of coming together. I'm playing around with what other elements I'm going to use. Now, the 2 sets I'm using, the Scenic Route set and the Travel Elements set, there is actually on the website. Pop on over to bramblefox.co.uk and have a look for the travel collection, because they've put together a really lovely collection of travel perspectives and sets. So you get these 2 sets, the Scenic Route set and the Travel Elements set, but you also get the Fly With Me set and the Travel Geotags set and the paper snips number 59. They're a travel set of paper snips, which is perfect. And they're all coordinating. So you've got them in the sort of olivey green, there's a softer green, there's like a soft blue, and then there's some corally colours and navy. Yeah, so really lovely. So do pop on over, because by buying that as a collection, you do save money based on buying them as individual pieces. So yeah. Okay, so where have I got to? Okay, so I've got the ticket stuck down at the top. Now I've got this large geotag from the Wherever collection, and I want to add that, but I feel like I need to add something into the background. So I'm just cutting a little bit of like matte paper out. It's got some of the blue in it, and then I'm going to add some foam pads around the edge, and then layer it up on the back of it, because I've got a little at the top of the screen. There's a little round brown phrase, and it says "Ready for another adventure." And I want to add that into the center of the geotag, but I just want to raise it up on foam pads. And I felt like I needed to have a backing on the for the large blue geotag, so that's worked well. So that's created a little sort of embellishment there. So I'm going to get that stuck down and create a bit of a feature at the top there, and then I can build the rest of my embellishments around it. So I'm going to bring in, I've got some more word phrases. I've got buy the ticket, my heart is happy. I'm going to raise those on foam pads and get those stuck down. And then I'll bring in the perspectives from the travel elements set. So you get a whole load of different bits and pieces in the travel elements set. So you've got, I mean, I'm going to use the little green car. That was perfect. And I'm going to use some of that. There you go. The chevrons there in the navy, in the blue, deep blue. And then I've got some crosses in the green and the blue as well. I had the triangles. I was looking at using them, but I decided not to. I was thinking about, using them like arrows in the same way as the chevrons, but I decided not to. I popped the cute little car at the top on the geotag, um, and then I'm just adding the crosses into the clusters. So I'm just using a blue and a green at the top there as well, and then I'll add a couple of crosses. There we go, down the bottom, and then I'll add a few more over to the right of the scenic route as well. But yeah, also in that travel element set, there's some planes, there are some little flags, there are some other sort of arrows, and there's actually some like little push pins as well. So if you were creating like a board, like with tagging things onto it, you can use a little push pin. So it's really cute. So there's loads of little bits and pieces, which is great just for adding to your embellishment clusters. And I love all those sorts of pieces because I do love adding embellishments. So now, where are we? Okay, so I've got everything, I think, stuck down. Oh, yes, I'm bringing in some gold ink to add some splatters. And then I've just added I've got some washi tape stamps from the Wherever collection I'd forgotten about. I've added a couple of those in the top right and one at the top left. And I've also added a couple of gold puffy hearts as well. And then, of course, I will add my journaling. I always add journaling to a layout just to make sure I tell my story, but also to get a date on it. Really helps when I'm adding my layouts to an album later. Okay, here is the final layout, and you'll get the detail close-ups. Here you go with that fabulous Scenic Route title and all of those cute travel element perspectives. I hope you've enjoyed watching the process video, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.